This is type 2 or part 2 of PFDs, also known as repeated factors. I have type 1 and type 2 down here. So let's look at the differences. For type 1, let's only look at the denominator for both the types. You have two different type of factors down here, x plus 1 and x plus 2. For type 2, you have two different factors, but you have a square up here, which means there's a repeated factor. Factorizing it more would give you this thing right here. So x plus 2 is your repeated factor, my bad. Let's do an example problem so you'll know how to solve it. Here's an example problem. Here you have one factor and you have another factor. This can be factorized more, which will give us x plus 1 times x plus 2 whole squared. Now comes the important part. This is pretty similar to type 1, but there's like one more change. It's pretty easy. So we have A, B, and C. So for the A term, we have x plus 1, the first factor. For the B term, we have x plus 2, which is the second factor. And for the C term, we have x plus 2 whole squared, which is the repeated factor. Do not forget the square, which we will equate to this thing right here. Now what I want you to do is add these terms. Adding these might be a bit confusing if you do not have much practice. It's like taking the common factor and adding it, so I'll do it right here. Let me double check if it's right. Looks about right. So this term cancels out and we will have this thing right here. This part is also pretty similar to the thing we did for type 1. We need certain x values, which will turn A and B to 0, and you'll get a C value. Same with other types. Same with finding A and B. You get this term to be 0 and this term to be 0, and you'll get A. Let's do it. So when x will be -2, let's see what happens. Let's solve it. So this term will go to 0 because A times 0 is 0. B will go to 0 because -2 plus 2 is 0, and B times 0 is 0. We'll have C down here. So we'll only have C remaining, so the C value will be -4. Now let's find the A value, because A is the second easiest term to find. When x is -1, we can find the A value. I'll just find the A value. So A will be 1. Now let's find the B value. This might be a little different, because to find the V value, you pick any x value, like anything, and you use the A and C values, you already know. So A is 1 and C is -4. So solving the equation will give you B to B as 0. So let's do the integral. A divided by the factor down here, x plus 1, plus B divided by factor down here, plus C divided by the factor below C, dfx. Now we plug in the A, B, and C values. So for A, we have 1. So B, we have 0. So the whole thing cancels out. For C, which have -4. So C is -4. So we'll have -4, which will give us solving this integral, we'll have this thing. It's pretty easy to solve. And that's about it. It's not that hard. The only thing you add is this term right here. And along with that, you need to find 3 different values this time. It's way easier if you do it the way I did. Find the C and A values first and find the B value using the known A and C values. Please do this problem again and try other examples. If you have any questions or if you did not understand anything, please drop a comment.